Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me this afternoon for my latest COVID-19 update. Currently, we have been following a multi-step plan here in Massachusetts to phase out all COVID-19 restrictions with the aim of eliminating all limits on businesses, gatherings, and events by August. But because of the successes we have collectively achieved, the original target date of full opening was August 1st and now is May 29th. Beginning May 29th, the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, the state will end all remaining COVID-19 restrictions in Massachusetts. We are now more than 2 months ahead of the original schedule. All industries will be permitted to open to 100% capacity, and gathering limits will be rescinded. And as of May 29th, the CDC has announced that those of us who are fully vaccinated may resume all activities we were engaged in prior to the pandemic without wearing a mask or staying 6 feet apart, indoors or outdoors, except for certain situations. Face masks will still be mandated in a small number of places, such as nursing homes, hospitals, public and private transportation, and schools, regardless of one's vaccination status. Non-vaccinated individuals will be advised to continue wearing face masks and to continue distancing in most settings. Tonight, the Newburyport Board of Health will meet to rescind our local mandatory mask order as the city plans to follow suit with the state's lifting of most COVID-19 restrictions. Tomorrow, on Friday, May 21st, all mandatory mask signage will be removed from our downtown. Until Memorial Day weekend, however, please note that the state's order remains in effect, requiring face masks at all times in indoor public places and outdoors when we are unable to maintain a 6-foot distance from other people. What a difference a year makes. This is all possible thanks to the rollout of highly effective vaccines and the willingness of most of us to get vaccinated. Vaccines have been authorized for children ages 12 to 15, and that effort is underway. The state is in line to meet its goal of vaccinating 4.1 million residents by the first week of June. In Newburyport, our vaccination numbers continue to improve. As of last week, our reported data indicates that 71% of all residents have received at least one dose of the vaccination and 57% are fully vaccinated. That is great news. But let me be clear that the end of these government-mandated restrictions does not necessarily mean the end of the pandemic just yet. Though we remain at a low-risk community and our case counts continue to trend downward, with an average of 1 case per day over the last 2-week period, the virus is still active. We have made tremendous progress, but obviously the existence of COVID-19 is something we must continue to pay attention to. So again, please know that the COVID-19 vaccines are highly effective, and I urge everyone to get vaccinated. As they have throughout the pandemic, the Newburyport Public Schools leadership team is closely watching the changes in guidance on updated school regulations from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Updated guidelines effective this week involving masks include: students will not be required to wear masks when outdoors, even if distance cannot be maintained. This will apply to recess, physical education, and outdoor learning environments. However, adults will continue to wear masks outdoors if distancing cannot be maintained. All students and adults must continue to wear masks indoors. Also, regarding athletics, Masks will not be required for active play outdoors or when on a bench or in a dugout. Spectators and chaperones, coaches, staffs, referees, umpires, and other officials who can socially distance while outdoors will also not be required to wear a mask. However, visitors, spectators, volunteers, and staff while indoors will still be required to wear masks. Newburyport students and staff will continue to wear masks indoors and on buses. Because many of our students are not yet vaccinated and school routines have been well established, students may still choose to wear masks when outdoors. The district will continue to follow the guidance and, when possible, make modifications to plans if school restrictions are lifted. As it has been since September, the district's priority has been the health and safety of our students and staff while promoting the educational growth of our students. With more than a year of restrictions, protocols, and guidelines, a full reopening is great news for our economy. But now the real work begins to repair those affected businesses and to bring people back into the workplace. With all our vaccinations, we are now able to safely shop, dine, entertain, travel, and return to work. But how the recovery will happen will require our patience and consideration as these new government guidelines turn into individual choices. The state has clearly advised that municipalities are free to move slower, if need be, than the state's reopening plan. For example, we will not require businesses to lift their own restrictions on face coverings should they choose to keep mask requirements in place. We will encourage our businesses to do whatever works for them, for their employees, and for their customers. The Newburyport Chamber of Commerce is on board to help our business community. Our local businesses, restaurants, shops, and cultural organizations will need all of our support as they are challenged with increased demands on their operations reopening at full capacity. COVID-19 also forced the world of work to adapt. As offices were closed and a lot of the population was working from home, businesses and individuals look for ways to carry on at a distance. If it's felt like everyone was suddenly using Zoom, it's because we have been. As far as business at City Hall, we hope to bring back most of our meetings to in-person settings. While there have been so few positives during these past 14 months, one has been the noted increased participation in city meetings with the ability to have remote access for the general public. With busy parents and other community and business members able to participate remotely during the pandemic, meetings have gone from having just a few people in audience to many. Will this be a glimpse of the future of the workplace with our abilities to convene? We believe it could be a hybrid model with some board members meeting in person, but allowing the public to continue participating remotely. We will be having many discussions on this over the next several weeks at the local and state level. In celebration of Newburyport's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and to honor members of our LGBTQ+ community, the Newburyport Human Rights Commission proposed that the city install a rainbow crosswalk. One was painted yesterday across from City Hall. Traditional crosswalks require motorists to stop their vehicles to allow pedestrian safe passage across a shared roadway. These particular crosswalks will signify that traversing our city requires us to stop to ensure the consideration and safety of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, Black, and brown people. The Rainbow Crosswalk will be a bold declaration that we celebrate and walk alongside people in marginalized groups. We are pleased to have the crosswalks ready in time for Pride 2021, the month of June. Our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Alliance is also planning to engage the community in tough but necessary discussions on race, ethnicity, sexuality, gender, religion, and income disparities over the next several months. This necessary work is evident, especially given this week's incident, where a Black Lives Matter banner being flown at the First Religious Society, Unitarian Universalist Church, was vandalized, shredded by a sharp blade. This reminds us that we have a long way to go. There will be 3 community dialogues this summer that the Alliance believes will help get the community on a path to real change. I encourage everyone to participate, to help create a platform for all voices and perspectives to be heard. To contact the Alliance, visit nbpdeialliance.com. In closing, just stop and think. On May 18, 2020 of last year, we had just begun the first phase of our reopening plan in Massachusetts. And here we are, a year later, with a full reopening of our economy this coming Memorial Day weekend. This could not have happened without all of us who did the hard work and made the sacrifices. As I've said many times over this past year, we will get through this together. And now I'm happy to say that we have gotten through this together. We are now prepared and protected and can move forward. Please remember that if you are not vaccinated, continue to wear a mask if you cannot social distance. Also recognize that individual businesses will be making decisions on capacity and face coverings that meet their need and comfort level. Please follow those requirements. Have a wonderful weekend. Get outdoors and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you.